here's some lovely swans at Lake Eola. Some black swans, as well as some white swans. I'm keeping my distance because they've been known to attack. They are beautiful though. As we pan out, see a bit of the terrain that we will be riding around in the boats. You can actually see the boat out there. And a little bit of a view of the people around. It's a busy day today. Very busy. So it looks like swan boats are a no-go today, but we will do them very soon and it'll be awesome.
Yep. They're closed because they got lightning, inclement weather. But we have the next best thing. Found
A sketchy dude.
a sketchy dude. Very sketchy. Look, look. Oh, we disturbed the sketchy.
Oh my gosh.
Just be quiet, you sketch.
I wear a gray shirt.
It looks like a chicken.
It looks like a chicken.
Think it's a chicken.
Oh yeah. I'm next in the queue of his drawing. But it's gonna be hard to hold that.
Can we? Hello, Mr. Puppy.
Say hi, Tiger.
Hello. You can lick the screen. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hello. Hello, Mr. Oh, how you doing?
Find yourself a Frenchie.
I did.
Oh, look at you! You're so cute!
Hi, buddy. Thanks, guys. All the latest fashion is out here today. Look, we got the shoes on the doggy. Cute dog. Thanks.
Hi, welcome again. This is Blair from Taking the Side Roads. I'm with my friends Nida and Rick, as well as my handsome husband Jeremy behind the camera. And unfortunately we were going to do the swan boat tours, but bad part is there's a rain delay and also a very long line. So we're going to go hopefully to the Winter Park Scenic Boat Tour and maybe see some wildlife and beautiful homes there too. So come and join us. Success!
Yes.
We're going on the Winter Park Boat Tour, and the best part is we have people who've never been on it before. Our friends Nida and Rick, Robin, and Tim's paying for somewhere.
It's not
Hey! So, I actually went on this tour when I was probably about 10 years old, and it's really neat because you just see all the old architecture here. You pass by Rollins. Yeah, a lot of history here people don't know about, so it should be exciting to see what you guys think.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the boat.
We'll see you on the boat.
Of lakes, if we didn't have these, I don't think we'd be a wide spot on the map. Certainly not a big town like this. We almost have, believe it or not, 30,000 people living here.
Wow.
We'll wait for the next census to give us the exact number, but last time it was in like 28.5 or something. So we start off here on Lake Osceola. That is where our town began, and of course it bears the name of the famed warrior leader of the Seminole tribe. His people used to hang out on these shores. Apologies to any Gator fans aboard. It's all about the Seminole here.
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about Winter Park itself. 1881 is when our town began. Now, what happened is a couple of old friends from New England came down here, probably Patriots fans. Just like this year, their team was not in the Super Bowl, so they went exploring instead. And when they stumbled across these lakes, they had a brilliant idea to build the first planned community in the state. So they set about doing that. They bought 600 acres, developed it, Now, it didn't hurt that the railroad had just come down to the right. Nike shot a shoe commercial there years back when Penny Hardaway played for the Magic. They loved the location and the
Oh, look, there's a lot.
landscaping. And of course, you see the statue.
There's a lot.
Some of the drivers refer to that as southern exposure. Sure enough, we're about to head due north. Don't even have to look at the compass. This is a banana tree above our heads, and up until 3 weeks ago, there was a nice bunch of bananas here, but somebody came through late at night with a machete. And they're gone. So they're still green, but you know, maybe it's got a big cooler somewhere. These are red
lot of
sister,
banana
the red
bread.
plants. That's the poor substitute on your cornflakes, so I'd wait for the bananas to grow. Up ahead, this is Palmer Avenue. It's quaint, it's lovely, but it's a real bitch to get through when you first start out. I'll tell you that. It's the last thing one learns on Winter Park Scenic Boat Tour driving school. There's a curve right before the entrance.
I don't know if we're gonna
try to
make
grade
it.
myself every hour. Last hour was a high B. Let's see how we do this time. I think it's an A. Yes, it is. I didn't touch. Now, over here to the right, that's an F, and that is not mine, okay? Just want to point that out.
A little close.
Welcome
Just
to
a
the
little
Children
bit.
of the Corn. I don't know why these scarecrows are here. They showed up 3 weeks ago. Somebody keeps moving them around, which makes it even spookier. Every day they're in a different position. Wearing the snappy mask is revealing this secret to this park to our guests. I think this little city
Lot of
park
people
off to the
voting.
right qualifies, even though it's very popular today. It's a little bitty thing. It's only 4.5 acres, and we might not spot it if you didn't take the tour or if you didn't know somebody in the neighborhood. It's called Craft Azalea Garden, and there's the secret right there, the azaleas. Every spring for about 6 weeks they bloom. So the underplantings are just a whole riot of color, white, pink, and red. But even when they're not blooming, we have these old growth cypress trees. Now, these guys are 1,000 years old. It's a lovely spot, even when the folks aren't pedaling. Photographers love taking pictures through there. Also, young couples like getting married here. Some older ones too. Let me show you where the weddings happen. It's right there where you see the columns coming up on the shore. It's called the Exedra, E-X-E-D-R-A. But here's the secret if you choose to get married at Craft Azalea Garden. That wedding won't last. I'll tell you why. That's an anhinga or snake bird right there. The reason is seating for one. There are 12 park benches in there. None of them faces the Exedra, so what good is that? You can't bring folding chairs in. You can't move the park benches. That's strike one. Strike two is the bathroom situation. There are two. For anyone who's visiting the park and your wedding party.
Oh, no.
So that's the reason that these ceremonies are short, not the marriages themselves. I didn't want to give you that impression. There is no Craft Azalea Garden curse as far as I know. They bought out the neighbors a while back and put the pool house up in the same style. Now, the original owner was an engineer. He went over to Italy, fell in love with Venice, that floating city, came back and built this thing right in the water. There wasn't a backyard at all. It just dropped off. And that was okay up until it wasn't. That was the night he came home and he spotted the kids jumping off that second-story porch.
What?
That was the end of things. They decided to put a backyard in now. And he did so just in time for actor Tom Hanks to move into that place in the 80s. Now, he was here. He was executive producer of something called From the Earth to the Moon. It was an HBO miniseries about the space race, the race to get an American on the moon. When Tom was here, perfect gentleman, never spotted taking even a small step. Much less, you know, that giant leap in mankind. Well, I know. It's on the bubble. It may not make it past this hour. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, I'll take two, that's fine. This little bridge over to the right is the only access to what's art. Yeah, these are bearded collies, very smart dogs. Much smarter than a boat driver. Probably do a little better job. This stuff to the left is ginger. So here's a perfect example of the two-way traffic. This gentleman has been kind enough to pull aside for a moment to let us by. I should be it for the boat tours, but take a peek before you take off. There could be somebody tucking in behind us. Now, not too long ago, I was here in the canal, and somebody had a really good question. Now, they're lovely. And that's the one. Now, I'm sure they put more than the piano in there, and I'm sure they didn't mind the expense, because this guy went on to greatness. First, seminary. After he graduated from Rollins, he got ordained as a minister. And then he went into television, children's television. I know you know this guy, Fred Rogers.
Yep.
That was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood back in the day when he graduated in 1951. So when he used to open up his program, putting on mom's Indian sweaters, tying up his sneaks, and singing, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood." I think he was talking about that place. It's still a beautiful neighborhood.
Especially with the car in the
Pardon me?
Especially with the car in the lot.
Oh, ouch. Well, that's not his property. That's next door, I believe. At least it's not up on blocks, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that would not last long. And by the way, Mr. Rogers, back when he was still with us, was walking down the street one day when the owners spotted him and said, "Do you want to come in and look around?" He said, "Yes, I'd like to." So, house from
Mr. Rogers. The red brick one.
Jacks through here in the early days because we were full of timber along the lake shore. And when the lumberjacks came through, they spotted these streams that run between the lakes, and they turned them into logging canals with a little effort. They dug them deeper, they dug them wider. And I suppose the plan was to just drop the cut logs in here and watch them float magically down to a sawmill on the next lake. But there was an issue. The current. It goes this way, north to the St. Johns River. They wanted to go this way, south to the sawmill. Oops. So my guess is they had a mule team or two pushing things through here or pulling things through. Because even in Winter Park, nothing floats up through. Here's the kind of tree they would have been after, high to our left. It's a long, needle southern pine with that rough bark. I don't know why that one survived. Up ahead is Osceola Avenue over our heads, and our heads are a concern. If you're tall, you may need to take evasive action. There are pipes underneath there that can really mess with your perm or your cart. So a simple duck works for me. You're on your own. And here's something that even Winter Park natives don't quite get. The 4 names for the single street in a half mile. Fairbanks, Osceola,
Some people are
Brewer,
ducking.
and Eola. You don't have to remember any of those names as long as you do that little duck right here and make sure that camera's down, okay? That's weird. We have a light on up there. Okay. How'd we do? We did better than my last group.
We still got our heads. We still got our heads.
Some people don't listen, you know what I mean?
And then they have a headache.
Just ahead is a natural bridge. You shouldn't need to duck here, but you might flinch a little. It's close. This is how critters like squirrels get across the canal. Now, I might yet be able to show you an alligator. I don't think you'll be pleased, but I'm going to try my best. So here are the instructions. Please look low, look left, and by all means lower your expectations. This guy's a bit of a stoner. You see him right there on the left hand.
Oh no.
I know. It gets worse. He's got this friend, the attack frog. He's clearly in timeout. You got him tethered to that tree so he doesn't get into any more mischief.
Oh, Froggy.
It's not the stairway to heaven. You're already here. Ask anybody who stays in heaven. This is Lake Virginia, so named by the owner of the sawmill. However, the logs got to his place. He was from the Commonwealth, so he said, "It is Lake Virginia. I'm in business. Here we go." The first settlers, though, were actually from Georgia. Their name was Mizell. He and his family came down here just before the Civil War, settled off to our left. They called their settlement Lakeview, but the view was quite a bit different out here. These big, circular little log cabins, 8 acres of land, they cleared. They citrus cattle, cotton. The smallest thing on campus is the spire of the Knowles Memorial Chapel. That dates back to the 30s, but the school itself, 1885. Now, when they opened the door, does anybody want to guess what tuition might have been? This is the lucky seat. No. $32.
Oh.
Another $132 for room and board. It has gone up a little bit. Last time I checked, it was pushing 70K.
Wow.
But that is room and board, so you got that. And 85% of the students get some kind of transportation. But I can beat that. I've got a secret. I can get you through here for free. Now, admittedly, the David plan does not come with it. And you do have to exercise.
Oh.
But there's this dandy nature path that stretches from one end of campus to the other, 3/4 of a mile in length. You can knock it off in 25 minutes. You do this separately. It's not part of our tour. But I'd like to get you closer to shore to show you what you'd see along the way. All of this stuff on a college campus. There goes the flag.
Oh.
Oh well. It was $1.
It's insured, I hope.
Oh, of course. For 500.
Yeah.
But where do you see what my deductible is? All right, let's get to the nature path. It's over here on the right. It always hugs the shore of Lake Virginia. You know, oh, that's lightning. We're out of here. So you can do this any time of the day or night, perfectly safe. Get a great view of the campus the whole way. But I want to get you off the water. We're building a brand new community for the students here. This is called Lake View. You have to pin me down for a figure, I'd say about 400 years.
400 years
I
old.
get up to drive the boat and thing. We saw some cypress knees on that property on the first canal. But take a look here to the right, just as we exit this canal, they're all over this shoreline, and they're much bigger. And again, all this is the way cypress trees adapt when they're wet. They send up those spikes or knees, and they can breathe just fine underwater. I spoke of earlier, that is the Polaczyk Museum. Alvin Polaczyk is a woman sculptor. There's the house in front of you. You're up into there with fun day. You can see more than 200 of his works in an hour. Most of it is a little bit of our history. We've been at this since 1938. We're in our 83rd year. We're the oldest continually operating tourist attraction in the state. And hey, you know, if you like the tour, let me know. Let the boss know. Say something nice on social media. If you didn't like the tour, ooh, I am sorry. But can that stay a secret? Okay. And
Right.
just stay here on the boat.
So you just went on the Winter Park boat tour. What do you guys think?
It was awesome.
Do you feel rich? I feel very, very poor. Very,
It was-
very poor.
It was a great time to dream.
It
Yes.
was.
What
There
was
you
your
go.
favorite of the tour?
I don't remember the name.
Cool guy. The cool guy that sold you tickets.
That guy right there.
There
Woo-hoo.
he is.
I like the Mr. Rogers house. I love houses that have the moss, the ivy on the side. It just is very pretty. So that was always my favorite
And
every
has
time I
history.
went. Yes, and
It
it's
has
history.
history, so.
It has history. The thing that what he didn't really say was they built the doorway bigger so that he could go in there with some of his instruments because they were so big. And a lot of the houses weren't built for bringing in some of the big instruments. What about Robin? What did you think of the tour?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I liked it. Oh, put me on the spot. I don't know.
You're on camera.
Oh boy.
You're on
You definitely
taking
want to cut this part out.
you're on taking the side roads too.
What about you, Tim? What did you think of the tour?
the part where there's this big house and it's kind of cool.
Yes,
Okay.
The
yes.
one with the big house.
Yes.
And with the roof on it and the
And the
windows.
windows.
Oh man.
I thought it
No,
was
actually,
maybe,
it
I
was
thought
really
it was
cool.
maybe like where the scantily clad women potentially were at. I thought
That
maybe
was
that's-
I'm so spiritual. I'm beneath that, so I don't know
Oh,
anything about
okay.
that. No, I like the houses. I think they're really, really different architecture.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I guess people go through that tour just for the houses. I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I would go.
Well, because you don't
Yeah, they're
really,
beautiful.
you don't really typically see this when you come to Winter Park.
Yeah.
All of these houses. are
Like
back.
you're saying, the view from the road, you just see a fraction.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the backside. You can see everything. It's quite amazing.
Yeah. So, with that said, see you on the next episode. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Nini, say goodbye.